Hello YouTubers. Well, today I'm going to do a review of the Kel Tec P-40. This is a discontinued model of their P11. So basically what it is it's a P11 chambered for a 40 Smith & Wesson. The main difference between the two guns is probably just the barrel, the steel spring guide, and a little bit bigger slide, and that's about it. The slide's almost the same dimension, but it's a little bit bigger from what I've read and measured. I know it's completely the same lower, however. The receiver, which is not actually the plastic, by the way, it's an aluminum receiver, which you can tell by taking it down. You check here, pull out that retaining pin, pull this flat forward, then you'll see that this part right here is actually the actual receiver itself, or the frame rather, and the plastic is just called a grip, so it's just something that retains the frame. But the frame itself is made from 75 T6 aluminum, which is the same thing they make the ARs out of. So it's pretty tough materials for a slide. But it also incorporates a lightweight package as well. It's aluminum and polymer, and so it's extremely lightweight. I think this gun is one of the better design that Kel Tec had, but for some reason it never caught on. It has a dual recoil spring guide system in here. There's two spring package. There's also a carbon steel slide. It's pretty heavy, but it is required because you are shooting a 40 Smith & Wesson, and out of this small package it does have tremendous recoil, and I do not deny it. I've shot it, and all my co-workers shot it, and they noticed the huge difference in recoil. It is not fun to shoot. It will hurt your hands, even if you hold it properly or whatever. It's still gonna hurt. It's not a fun gun to shoot. But for what it is, this gun weighs specifically 15.6 ounce unloaded. Now that gives you an extra 6 to 8 ounce for a loaded magazine of 10 or 9 with one in the chamber. So your total weight package is going to be around 22-23 ounces, which is really lightweight considering the LC9, the Ruger LC9 weights about 17.6 ounces, I think, with an unloaded magazine. So add in another 6 ounce worth of ammunition, and maybe it's almost the same weight class. But that's a 9mm, and this is a 40 Smith & Wesson. There is no, so far from what I've heard and what most general consensus of what people say online, no one really disputes the stopping power of a 40 Smith & Wesson, whereas most people will dispute that stopping power of a 9mm. Originally, the Kel Tec P-40 was designed to address 3 issues. One is to have a lightweight small package for law enforcement officers to use. 2 was to have the most powerful package of that small pistol. And then 3 is to be reliable. And for what it is, it wasn't reliable when I first got it, mainly because it was missing a few parts. Like, whoever last owned it had like 1 spring in there instead of 2, and the magazine spring was weakened over time, I suppose, and it would jam every other round. And also, if you don't hold the gun stiffly enough, you're limping your wrist, it will also misfeed, or fail to feed rather. But ever since I changed out the spring, everything's been good, and I never had a failure in the gun so far. Like I said, I don't know why it has never caught on, because you're getting the total versatile stopping power of the 40 Smith & Wesson, but in such a lightweight package. And the difference between the 40 Smith & Wesson and the 9mm is almost none as far as this package is concerned, because I have 10+1 with an extended pinky thumb magazine from Kel Tec. Now this thing is about $15 on its own, and the magazine is about 23, so the whole thing is almost like $40. But yeah, this holds 10 rounds, and then you have 1 in the chamber, so you come to a total of 11 rounds, and that's substantial. I mean, that's for a pocket-sized pistol. That's probably pretty good. My recommendation is get a pretty good soft inside the pants holster, because this gun is small enough that you can carry inside the pants pretty comfortably. I'm a kind of a chubby kid, And so this fits me pretty well, and so I would assume so for anyone smaller than me. And I use, I think it's called Uncle Mike's size 1, and it fits the gun pretty well. It's the smallest I can get as far as the holster is concerned, because it literally ends right there and it fits like a glove. But yeah, so far it's been good. I never actually had to use it in an actual self-defense, but from what I've shot in the range, it's pretty good. And Kel Tec says the average lifespan of most of their pistols is around 6,000 round at least. So, and they have a lifetime warranty on these if you were the original purchaser. However, I think you can get grandfathered in if you already fixed it on its own. But anyways, they do still service these, even though it's been discontinued, mainly because the P11 is still available, and almost all of the parts for the P11 will fit onto the P40, except for the slide and the barrel. But everything else is almost the same, or pretty much the same. The only thing I could think that would fail on this is probably the extractor looks really beefed up, so I don't think the extractor would be the first thing to go. I say the first thing to go would probably be let me see what it's called. My barrel has actually been pretty rusted and it's been pitted, but it still goes bang, so that's pretty good. I say the first thing to go would probably be somewhere in the recoil spring or springs or something like that. But yeah. And I do want to make a note that this thing does have strike capabilities inside a purse or something concealed, or a bag, mainly because it does have a hammer, but the hammer is so recessed into the receiver that it's almost safe. Let's unload this weapon and make sure it's strict. Okay, and so if you notice, as I pull the hammer, it comes barely out enough, and that's as far as it goes out. So you can see that's very reliable to shoot inside a purse or something like that, especially for girls who carry them. But not that the girls would ever shoot something this big, because I don't think they can handle the recoil or rack the slide, because I've let my mother in. She cannot rack the slide at all. So it's the standard factory recoil spring is about 17.5 pounds, so that's pretty substantial. But yeah, so far I had pretty good range reports with it. I mean, it's typical accuracy from a mouse gun, from a pocket pistol. Nothing fancy, It's not like a Kimber or a Smith & Wesson or anything like that. It is what it is, and it's just a small package that goes bang. And I think if you guys still have the P-40, I definitely would hang on to it, because it's extremely rare now. And luckily I got mine at the local gun store for like $200 flat with tax and everything included. So that was a heck of a deal. I don't know how much they go for now in the market, maybe around $300 or something. But yeah, if you still have it and you can handle the recoil and it functions fine, I definitely say keep it, because it's one of those things that is really hard to beat. I haven't seen a smaller gun this size that can shoot 40 Smith & Wesson, except for maybe the car models. And yeah, I think the car is the only one that probably makes it to shoot 40 Smith & Wesson or 45 ACP or something in the same similar size package. But yeah, so far I've been happy with this gun. Really have. It's one of the lighter weight guns for 40 Smith & Wesson, definitely. It makes a great carry. I mean, you just get the right holster, or you can even carry it in your pocket, to tell you the truth. But yeah, like I said, if you have any other questions, or you want me to show you how to disassemble the gun, I've actually taken this gun completely apart, like trigger mechanism and spring and everything. So if you guys want to make a video of how to, it's pretty simple. Although I would have to say it's similar to a P11, so whatever instruction you can find for the P11, it will be exactly the same for the P40. But yeah, if you want to request that, I can do one. It's not a big deal. I mean, I just don't want to do it now, because I've just cleaned it and put it back together, so I don't really feel like redoing all that. But yeah, the main thing is just to be careful and don't force anything if you do try to take things apart on your own. But yeah.